Hello AI enthusiasts. Welcome back to Skill Curve. Ever dreamed of having an AI paint anything your mind can imagine? Well, buckle up because we're building a magic portal to artistic superpowers. Today we are unleashing the creative beast with a DALL-E3 image generation app built in Python using Streamlit. So in this particular application, you're going to prompt the model using text input. And you can choose the number of images you want to create in this particular scenario, okay? Streamlit carousel will then display the generated images. So it would be like a really crazy journey, okay? You can feed it with a crazy prompt, crank up the image count, and boom, DALL-E3 spits out a gallery of mind-bending masterpieces, all thanks to superpower of OpenAI. In this particular video, you'll see how to code this interactive beast, master DALL-E3 prompts, and even share your creations with the world. So let's get started, okay? So now let's just try to see the demo of this particular application, okay? So alright, so in this particular simple application, a user has to enter the prompt. Suppose I just gave it this prompt, you can see right on the screen, okay? Then the user can actually specify the number of images. Suppose I specify the number of images to be 3. Then we can click on generate images button. Okay. It will then take a while and generate 3 images. You can see right over here that the generation are actually really powerful. And there are 3 images and it has actually a slider to navigate between the different images, okay? And you can see that the generations are really crazy and awesome, okay? And it also has a slideshow feature in which the images will actually change after 10 to 15 seconds, okay? All right, guys. So as you have seen the demo of the project, so now let's just try to see how to set up the project for this particular scenario, okay? So for that, I will simply open up my VS Code, okay? So you can see that my VS Code window has been opened. So first of all, I'll click on open up a folder, okay? So in the documents folder, I will just try to create a new folder, okay? And I will call it as DALL-E3 image generator, okay? And I will simply select this folder to open this up inside of VS Code. Okay, so we are here. You can see right over here. So first of all, I will simply create a new file and I will call it as Python file. Okay, and I will be going to save this file as API key, where my API key will actually go. Okay, so here will be my API key. So I will say API key equals, and here my API key will go, which I will populate later on, okay? Now, what I need to do, I simply need to create a new file, which would be a Python file, and I will call it as app.py, in which all of our logic and implementation will go, okay? All right, so now let's quickly see how to design the front end of this application. Okay, first of all, I'll import necessary modules. Okay, for that, what I'll do, I will simply import OpenAI from OpenAI. I would say from OpenAI, import OpenAI. Okay, typo O and A are caps. And then what we need to do, we need to import image from pillow, from PIL import image. Okay, that's fine. Then we need to import Streamlit as st. That's fine. Then we need to import this API key variable from our API key files. I'll say from API key import API key. Okay, this variable which we'll be using in our application. Okay. So now what I will do, I will simply try to initialize Streamlit application, okay? So I would say st.set underscore, page config, and page title would be DALL-E image generation, okay? That would be nice. Let me just close this thing out. Layout would be wide. That's fine for now. Then we are going to create a title for our page. So I can say st.title DALL-E3 image generation tool. Okay, then we can create a subheader and I can call it as like powered by the world's most powerful image generation API. Okay, like DALL-E. Yeah, we can say like that. That's fine. You can like write anything. Okay. Yeah. Now we need actually a text input box. So I can say img underscore description. That would be my text description. And that would be equals to st.text underscore input and enter a description for like the image you want to generate, for instance. Okay. Then we can take like number of images from user. Okay. That would be like st.slider is fine. We can take a number input as well. Okay. Or we can say like number underscore input. Okay. We will see whether the slider looks nice or the number input looks nice. We'll check out that in a while. Okay. And here I can simply say like min value that would be equals to like 1. Okay. Yeah, min value equals 1, max value equals 10, and value equals 1. I can specify like max value equals 5, okay? That's totally up to you. Then we actually need a button, okay? Like a submit button, like create a button. It would be like st.button generate images. And for now, I can simply say like pass. Okay, so this would be our front end of this application. It's just hardly like 10 lines of code you can see right over here. Okay, so that's the power of Streamlit actually. So yeah, now before running this application, you need to install a few things. Okay, first of all, you need to install OpenAI, then Streamlit as well. So I will simply open up a new terminal. Okay, you need to simply say like pip install OpenAI and Streamlit. Okay, so they're done. You can see right over here. Now I can simply say Streamlit run app.py. Okay, yeah, there is an error you can see right over here, like cannot import name OpenAI from OpenAI. I think I made a typo here. This I is actually capital. Okay, now let me just try to refresh it once again. Now you can see right over here that our application is actually looking like this. Here a user can enter their prompt, okay? Then here they can choose like the number of images they want to generate, like the maximum is 5 and the minimum is actually 1, okay? Then they can simply click on like generate images button where there is actually no logic, but we are saying it like pass, okay? So this is actually our front end and it's like looking really nice. You can see right over here. Okay. So now if I just try to explain my front end, so you can see right over here, here is the page title. Okay. Where you can see the page icon as the camera, which is here on the top. Okay. Then we have like the st.title, which comes in over here. Okay. Then we have a subheader, which comes here. Okay. Then we have like the text input, which is like this one. Then we have number of images, which is like st.number underscore input. Okay. You can also add in a slider here as well, but I believe that this actually number input is looking really nice. Okay. So you can see right over here. Now let's try to implement our main logic in this application. First of all, you need to initialize your image generation client. So I could say like client equals OpenAI, then we need to specify our API key. Okay, so we can say like API underscore key equals, and we can take this API key which we imported from the other file. Okay, this one right over here. I will populate it once I need my API key. Okay, now we actually need to define a function. So I can say define generate underscore images function. Okay, which would take in parameters like image underscore description, okay, and it will also take in like number of images, okay, just 2 things. So what we can do here, we can create a variable called image underscore response in this case, okay, and that would be equals to like client dot images dot generate function, okay. That will take in like several parameters. We have to provide in like with prompt. Then we also need to provide in with like size, okay? We also need to provide in with like model, which would be like DALL-E3, okay? Then we need to provide in with like quality. And if you see the documentation, we also need like n, okay? Like n equals 1. The quality would be like standard. That would be fine. The size would be like the recommended size is like 1024 cross 1024, okay? The prompt would be equals to like this image description, okay? That's fine for now. We have like created a function, okay? Now what we need to do, we need actually the URL of this image, okay? For that we can simply grab this and I will simply paste it in right here, okay? So image URL would be equals to like image response, okay? Dot data, we are taking the first part of its data and from there we're grabbing the URL, okay? Then we can simply return our image URL so that we can use it later on, okay? All right, now what we will do here, we can simply say like if the button is pressed, we can call our function. So I can say generate underscore image. That would be equals to like this. I need to call in like this function, okay? And remember, we are not using like number of images anywhere in this function for now. So that doesn't matter what we provide in here, okay? So I will call this function and I can simply say like image description, which is like this thing right over here. Yeah, this thing and this number of images. For now, it doesn't matter like how many number of images we are providing to this thing, okay? So now I need to actually show the image onto my Streamlit UI. For that, I can simply say st.image and I will provide in with like generate underscore image, okay? So that's fine for now. Now, let me just try to refresh my page. So now I need the OpenAI's API key, okay? For that, you just simply need to go to playground.openai.com, okay? You just need to log in and make sure that you have subscribed to OpenAI's API key because that would be like really handy in this particular scenario, okay? So once you're on your dashboard, make sure you go to like API keys and create a new one from here, okay? That's fairly simple. I already have my API key in hand, so I will simply use that one, okay? So you just need to grab your API key and paste it in right here. Don't try to use this API key because I will revoke this once this project is done, okay? So I have set my API key up and it's like in there inside of my API key file and now I am simply ready to go, okay? Alright, so now let me just try to provide in with like a simple prompt. So I will say like sunset on the beach, okay? Let's say, and I will simply click on generate images button, okay? So you can see that I've got an error. It says like image description is not defined on line 36, okay? So let me just see what I have done wrong in this scenario. Yeah, it's actually img underscore description. So that was the issue, okay? Yeah, that's fine. Now let me just try to click generate images once more, okay? So, all right, you can see here that my API is working as a charm, okay? You can see this creation. It's actually looking really nice and awesome, okay? So this is actually the power of like DALL-E3. If you want to like download this image, you can simply right click on this one, click on save image as, and you can just save this image onto your system, okay? You can see right over here. This is like looking absolutely nice, okay? So yeah, our API is working as expected. Now we need to modify a few things, okay? As you have seen in the UI in the demo of this particular video, okay? So now we need a feature actually to allow someone to generate like multiple images, okay? We need to do that. So what I can do, I can simply like run a for loop, okay? So we can simply say like for I in range like number of images, okay? like we need to run this code like the same amount of time as the number of images, okay? So I will just try to indent it accordingly, okay? It goes there, okay? You can see right over here. Now, first of all, I will simply create an empty images list, okay? So that we can populate like multiple URLs here, okay? So now what I can do, I can simply just come down here and I can say like images dot append, then I can simply say like image URL. So now suppose this like code runs like 3 times. So what would happen, like our images variable will have 3 URLs here, okay? Now we also need to return like images instead of like image URL, okay? So if I just do this thing, come down here and let me just try to write on the screen. So if I say like st.write, okay? And if I just simply provide in with like this thing to see like what it has come up with, I will just try to get rid of this thing for now, okay? So now if we just try to say like, once again, sunset on beach, okay? And if I like try to provide in like with number of images, like 2. So if I just try to click on generate image once again, so now I should actually get 2 URLs printed on the screen, okay? So you can see right over here that we have got like 2 URLs, okay? First one is this one. So if I just try to copy this and paste it on like the plain browser, so I will actually see an image, okay? So this is my first image and this one is my second one, okay? So if I just try to paste it here as well, so you can see the power of like DALL-E. It's actually looking really amazing and fantastic, and it's actually DALL-E3, okay? So this is like more powerful than before, like the DALL-E2. So now I actually want to show these URLs like on the UI as well, okay? One option is that I can use a for loop. So I can say for I in range length of like generate underscore image, okay? So yeah, I can say like st.image generate underscore image like with I, okay? So now if I just try to refresh this page once again, and if I now say like logo of a bakery, let's see, okay? If I just try to say logo of a bakery, and if I just try to produce like 2 images, let's see what it would generate in this particular scenario, okay? Well, there are like a lot of use cases that you can use in this particular scenario. So it's totally up to you like how you want to use this tool actually, okay? So you can see right over here that it just created like a nice logo, okay? It's actually looking like really nice. And this one is the second one, okay? Yeah, it's actually looking really nice. I'm literally impressed by its creation. It's looking really nice, okay? So now what I need to do, I actually don't want like my images to like look in this way, like in a form of list. Rather, I want like a slider, okay? For that, what I can do, I can simply import a new library, which is like I'm saying from Streamlit underscore Carousel, import Carousel, okay? And I need to pip install this thing as well. So what I can do, I can simply go to the terminal once again, a new one probably, yeah. And I will simply try to pip install this thing. So I can say pip install Streamlit underscore Carousel, okay? Now we will be using this package to actually create a carousel of the images so that we can make them look like better, okay? So this carousel actually needs a dictionary in this form, okay, which we actually need to use, okay? So this is the dictionary which this Streamlit underscore carousel uses to display the image onto the screen, okay? So I can simply store it inside of variable. I can say single image equals, and this would be our dictionary, okay, which would take in like the title, the text as well, and the image, which would be our URL, okay? And here what I can do, like I created the images one, I could simply create like another variable, which would be called like image, suppose image underscore gallery, okay? That would contain all the images that user have actually generated. Okay. So now what I can do here, I can simply create a variable and I can call it as new underscore image. Okay. Yeah. I can simply copy this thing, which is like single underscore image. I can create a copy of this thing, single underscore image dot copy. Okay. And here I will try to populate different things. First, I think let me show you how this carousel works. Okay. Suppose that I have like a list of different items. Okay. And here is like one dictionary, and we would have like another one as well. In the same way, I had my URLs, so let me just open them up. Okay, so I could show you like how our carousel actually works. Then we can move on to the next part. Okay, so this is our URL. Okay, I can copy this thing and I can simply provide in with my URL here, first one, and second one, suppose I provide like into the other one. Okay, suppose I say this is my image 1, okay, this is my image 2, and suppose I say like this is like image about like sunset on the beach. Okay, this would be actually our like description, which is like this thing, image description. So I say sunset on the beach, same will go here. Okay, so now I have like 2 images ready. Okay, so now if I just simply try to display them on the screen, so first of all what I'll do, I will simply comment this thing out. Okay, because I don't want to run this function. Okay, I will get rid of this thing as well, and if I just simply try to say like carousel, okay, this thing, and its items would be equal to, yeah, this thing, single underscore image. We can specify height and width as well. Okay, so now this thing is actually ready. Okay, so this like Streamlit carousel is actually so powerful. So now if we just try to just click on like generate images, so now it will actually try to create a carousel. I don't know what's the issue here. I think in the official documentation it says like you have to like write width 1. So now you can see that I have like a really good carousel. Image 1 says like sunset on the beach, and this one is like the second image. Okay, so I actually want to like display my images in this way. These images are actually huge because DALL-E3, it actually produces like the images with like 1024 cross 1024 size. Okay, so now what I need to do, I do not need to actually provide in like with the dictionaries in this particular way. Rather, what I need to do, I actually need to populate them right here. Okay, I will simply get rid of like this thing. Okay, and I don't need to provide it like in the form of list. Rather, this is a single object. Okay, let me just try to get rid of this URL from here because we'll populate it later on. Okay, this thing as well and this thing as well. Okay, now what I will do, I will simply come down here and I have copied like this thing inside of like my new image variable. Okay, single image dot copy is the function which does that thing. Okay, now we need to change in the title, so I would say like new underscore image, and title, that won't be actually equals to image description. Rather, it would be equals to like, I could give it like an F string. Yeah, image I plus 1, which would be like 0 plus 1, 1, that it will go on. Okay, then what I can do for the text, I could say like image underscore description, which would be my prompt. Okay, like you can see here, sunset on the beach. Whatever the prompt would be here, it would like appear here as well. Okay, and the last thing I need is like image URL. So I could say new image underscore img, which is here. Okay, this thing. So I could say like this is equals to, yeah, img underscore URL. Okay. All right. So now what I can do, I just simply need to append these things like new image. Okay. to like this image underscore gallery. Okay, so I could say like image underscore gallery dot append, and that would take in like new image. Okay, so now I don't want to return these images. Okay, rather I can get rid of this thing, image dot append from here, and I can just simply get rid of images from here as well. Okay, because now there is no need to actually return those. So what I can do, I can simply return like image gallery now. Okay, so you can see right over here that I have just returned image underscore gallery. Now what I can do, whenever I will call that function like generate underscore images function, so it would actually save image underscore gallery, this whole thing. Like if there are like 2 images, so 2 dictionaries will be saved. If there are 3, so it would like saved in that particular like number. Okay, so now here what I can simply say, I can give it like generate underscore image right here. Okay, so now our implementation is pretty much ready. Okay, all right, so now it's time for final testing to see whether our project is working as we're expecting or not. Okay, so all right, here you can see I am on my application. So the first prompt, I will give it like a futuristic cityscape at night with glowing neon lights and floating cars. The architecture is a blend of high-tech and art deco styles. Okay, and suppose I want to generate like number of images to be 2. Okay, then I can simply click on generate images button. So you can see on the top that it's running. So the higher the number of images, the later the lag would be, because you know DALL-E3 image generation API, it actually takes like 10 to 15 seconds to generate image, because the generations are really powerful and it takes time. So that's understandable. Okay, so you can see that the images are ready. These images are actually looking really awesome. Okay, so you can see this is the second one and this one is the first one. So here is the image number, like image 1. Then we have like the prompt as well, the prompt which like the user gave. Okay, and this is it. Okay, this is actually looking really nice. This one is also looking awesome and amazing. Now let's try to provide in with like another prompt. So I will say a mystical creature that is a blend of unicorn and phoenix with iridescent feathers and a sparkling horn standing in a magical forest. Okay, suppose now I want to generate number of images to be equal to 3. Okay, so let's try to generate this, and this would be our last generation. Then we can end our video. Okay, so now you can see that the image quality is actually awesome. It's looking like really nice. It's actually the second image. This one is the third one, and this is actually the first one. I actually love this image because the quality is actually really awesome and it's looking like really great. And there's a slideshow feature as well. Okay, so if we just leave it, the images would like change after every 10 to 15 seconds. So that's the power of like Streamlit carousel. So I hope that you learned a lot about like DALL-E3 image generation from this particular project. I hope this project makes a difference, okay, in your learning and approach towards these image generation APIs. So yeah, that marks the end of this video. I hope you liked this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall catch you up in some other one. Till then, have a good day. Bye.